East Alabama communities are bracing for the hottest weekend of 2023.
The hot weather rolls on across East Alabama. A sizzling weekend forecast coming up.
High school football is underway for 2023. Jacksonville State kicks off tomorrow. We'll talk about it coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Friday, August 25th, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
John Holder will have the specific numbers later in this newscast, but for right now, all you need to know is that highs on Saturday and Sunday are expected to be in the high 90s. And those temperatures can be dangerous. The CDC says that illnesses brought on by heat are the #1 cause of weather-related deaths in the U.S. For the past 10 years, an average of 168 people have died from heat stroke and similar problems each year, more than the number of people killed by tornadoes, hurricanes, and lightning combined. The CDC also says that these deaths are all preventable if people will take a few extra precautions. Weather.gov has some useful safety tips as the thermometer creeps up toward the triple digits. First, workers need to take frequent breaks, stay hydrated, and remain in the shade as much as possible. Also, remember to check with friends and neighbors, especially the sick, the elderly, and those who lack air conditioning. Next, never leave a child or a pet inside a vehicle with the windows rolled up. And finally, limit your outdoor activities and remember to drink lots of water and sports drinks.
The city of Anniston will open its cooling station at the bridge behind First Methodist Church on both Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day. That resource is made possible through a joint effort of the East Alabama United Way, the First United Methodist Church of Anniston, and His Hands and Feet Ministries. When we come back, lots of activities are being planned for this weekend, and we'll have a rundown of those events for you.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
A free community event will be held Saturday morning in Anniston featuring Dr. Farron Epps of Emory University. Dr. Epps will be talking about dementia and Parkinson's disease with a focus on how the community can help its members who suffer from these diseases. That event starts at 10 a.m. at the Bridge Christian Center at 1300 Parkwood Drive. In addition to the helpful resources, a free lunch will be provided as well. For more information about this program, you can contact 770-450-0792.
Remember that the Anniston Changers will be back for another service project on Saturday morning, and this time they'll be cleaning up the neighborhoods around MacArthur Drive in North Anniston. Work begins at 8 a.m. and ends at 11 a.m. Volunteers will meet in the parking lot of Smith's Appliance located at the intersection of East 26th Street and Noble Street. This project will focus mainly on mowing properties and litter pickup, so workers are asked to bring lawnmowers, landscaping tools, and gloves. There will be some other tasks as well, and any help is welcome. Refreshments and fellowship will be provided to every person who volunteers. Workers may register to volunteer at AnnistonChangers.com or call Jackson Hodges at 256-846-2044. The city of Anniston invites the public to join Ward 4 Councilwoman Millie Harris on Sunday at 3:00 p.m. at the Anniston Country Club for a neighborhood input meeting on Hamilton Ballard Park improvements. That city park is located at the corner of East 7th Street and Jefferson Avenue.
If you have an interest in how Anniston deals with its shrinking student population and surplus buildings, the City Board of Education wants to hear from you next week. The board members are holding what they're calling a school reorganizational conversation held next Tuesday starting at 5:30 p.m. at Anniston High School. Parents of students in the system are also invited to go to the school board's website and fill out a survey before going to that meeting. When we come back, a park in downtown Oxford is going to the dogs this weekend.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
It's the dog days of August, and more than 20 Oxford merchants will be setting up shop in Simmons Park on Saturday morning to feature items designed for both humans and canines. Shoppers are encouraged to bring their furry friends to the park from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. to enjoy the marketplace, which will also feature bounce houses, games, and other family-friendly activities. Goodness gracious, no matter what we do this weekend, we are going to be hot.
Yes, because it is the dog days and it is the hottest part of the year.
Absolutely.
But that means that maybe a cooler part is coming.
I certainly hope so. Let's check in with John Holder, who joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Mike and Katie, it's going to be another hot couple of days coming up, but we do have relief in sight. We're going to talk about increasing rain chances, decreasing temperatures coming up next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Well, another scorcher today across East Alabama. 97 for the high this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. 71 for the low this morning. Record high temperature 99 degrees. The record low at 57. You see the averages there, 89 and 69. And the sun rising on your Saturday morning at 6:13. And look at that sunset time now, 7:18 tonight. Weather on your street for a Friday night. Going to take you to Henry Road at Anniston. Donahoe Falcons and the Weaver Bearcats playing football up on 10th Street Mountain. It's going to be very warm and muggy tonight. Again, that 74-degree temperature, that's tomorrow morning. That's not overnight tonight. Before the football game, it's going to be in the 90s, maybe some 80s in there as we make our way through the evening tonight on 10th Street Mountain on Henry Road in Anniston. Your Saturday, this might be the hottest day yet. 98 degrees in Heflin on Coleman Street. It is hot. It is dry. Only about a 20% chance of a shower or less. Most folks rain-free, so the best bet over in Heflin is to count on another sizzling Saturday over in Cleburne County. And as we look ahead to next week, we will tell you that the heat wave is finally going to break. If you're on Timber Trace out in DeArmonville, good news for you and everyone in Calhoun and Cleburne counties. Mostly 80s next week. We'll have some 90s the early part of next week in Monday and Tuesday. But as we get into the latter part of the week, a break finally from this heat wave. Interesting, coming up in our 7-day forecast, we're going to increase the rain chances on Sunday to 40% actually. Still going to be hot. That should be our last brutally hot day at 95 degrees. Monday, a 70% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Widespread rainfall Monday afternoon, the high only 90. And then we've got a front that's going to come through. And behind that front, again, we're going to be looking at temperatures dropping into the 80s. Look at this. Very pleasant for this time of year. Below average temperatures to close out the month of August and begin September. 85, maybe even 84 in about a week or so. We'll have about a 60% chance of showers on Tuesday, then tapering off to a 20% chance on Wednesday. Dry at the end of next week, but lower humidity and dew point values. And look at those nighttime lows. We've been in the mid to upper 70s some mornings. We're going to be down in the low 60s by Thursday morning of next week. Now, more interesting weather to talk about. You see all kind of colors here on our tropical weather outlook. We're not too worried about these things right here. Forget about the yellow and the orange. That is not going to affect us. The question mark is, and I don't think Franklin is going to affect us either out here in the Caribbean, this is an unnamed system right now. It's not even really organized, but there's an 80% chance from the National Hurricane Center that this is going to develop into at least a tropical depression. And the trend has been moving westward. That's not a good thing for us here in East Alabama, as we are going to be possibly looking at some kind of tropical trouble here in the Gulf of Mexico early to midweek next week. We will keep our eyes on it. Chase Robinson is keeping his eyes on high school football. He's going to talk about the first Friday night of the high school football season right now in sports. Chase?
Thanks, John. High school football in the state of Alabama is here, as several games were played last night. Many more coming up tonight. Last night we had 3 games involving East Alabama teams. Sacs went on the road to Ohatchee. It was the Indians that get a big win to start the season, 32-7. Springville Etowah game was a good one. Springville ended up winning 28-21. Also last night, Coosa Christian went on the road to Geraldine as the Conquerors fell to Geraldine 26-0. Plenty of more games happening across East Alabama tonight. Plenty more games happening tonight across East Alabama. Alexandria goes to Cherokee County. Also Anniston playing host to Welborn. You got Weaver beginning the Ken Kofer era at Donahoe. Jacksonville on the road at Boaz. Talladega plays host to Lincoln. Munford hosting Childersburg tonight. Oxford heads on the road to McAdory. White Plains is at Ranburn to start the season. Also Southside makes the trip to Guntersville. And Spring Garden goes on the road to Sand Rock. Tomorrow the Jack State Gamecocks will take the field against UTEP at Burgess Snow Field. The Gamecocks will get their first taste of FBS action against a veteran UTEP team. This is the first meeting between the Gamecocks and the Miners. One thing about this UTEP team is the size on both the offensive and defensive lines. Rich Rod and offensive lineman Traylon Brown talk about the importance of play up front.
They're a very big physical team up front defensively, extremely well coached. I know their coaches. They don't make mistakes. They tackle really well. I would suspect that they would probably, with their size up front on offense, they would probably try to control the clock. You know, the quarterback can throw the ball. They'll take some shots, deep shots. They got one of the best receivers in the league. You know, so we got to be aware where he's at. So they'll probably try to control the game, take some deep shots on us, and then defensively, you know, they'll pressure on certain downs and do a good job disguising it. But you know, they're big and strong enough up front, but they usually don't have to. So we're going to have to really, I mean, the key for us is going to be up front on both sides. You know, we got to be able to handle them on or be able to acquit ourselves pretty well on the O-line and D-line, and we'll see how that plays out.
Their defensive line is really, really good, really physical, older guys. So it's going to be an interesting battle against them. We got a couple older guys now, a couple experienced guys on our O-line. So it's going to be cool to go against those guys.
Rich Rod begins season number 26 as a coach in year 2 with the Gamecocks. Coach talked about how he feels heading into his first game every year.
I'm about like miserable, you know, the first week. And I think it isn't so much like I'm not ready to play a game. It's just you got to play. You don't really know what you got. You know, I've been saying for years, I mean, in NFL, they have a couple preseason games. Every league seems to have, and even every sport in college, it seems to have an exhibition and preseason game. In football, you have none of that. So you really don't know until you play a game, and it counts. And so you can't really, if you're making a bunch of mistakes and things like that in your first game, it's, you know, you can't go, oh, let's let's fix it. Then it didn't count, and we'll be ready for the real one. It all counts from the start. So that makes me as a head coach a lot more anxious than probably I should be.
You can catch the Gamecocks in action tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 p.m. If you can't make it out, you can watch the game on CBS Sports Network. And that's it for sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you.
Have a great weekend and stay cool. We'll see you back here Monday for your news on your schedule.